Hi guys, this is day 2 of the 30-day A2 Economics Revision Challenge, and today we are doing budget lines. A budget line shows all the various combinations of two goods that a consumer can buy with his limited income and given prices. When you look at a consumer who has a limited income, his goal is to maximize his utility from his given income, and therefore budget line plays an important role because it tells us first of all the combinations that a consumer can buy. From those combinations, then we will ultimately find the combination that will maximize the consumer's total utility. But the budget line is the first step because it tells us how much that a consumer can buy with his limited income. Let's now look at an example to understand the budget line better. For example, we have a consumer, let's say Ali, and Ali has two choices to make. He can either go to concerts, or he can go to movies, or he can even consume both of these goods. The price of concerts, let's say, is $30, and the price of movies is, let's say, $10. Also, let's say his income is $150. So if I give you the a given income, and if I give you the prices of two goods, let's say concerts and movies, the budget line can tell us basically what are the various combinations of two goods that this consumer Ali can buy with his limited income. So the budget line looks like something of a linear line, where on my x-axis, let's say I put quantity of concerts, and on my y-axis I'm going to put quantity of movies. So the budget line looks like a linear line, something like this for us. Now, what are the various values that will come on this line? Well, one value that will come on this line is this one, where this consumer is buying only movies and no concerts. So if I spend all of my income of $150 on movies, how many movies will I be able to buy? And the answer is, well, 150 is our income divided by price of movies is, for example, $10. So the answer will be 15. So this means this value here is simply what we call y over pm, which is going to be 15. Similarly, if I look at the value on the x-axis, is going to be y over pc, which is going to be 150, which is the income, divided by price of concerts, which is 30. 150 divided by 30 is 5. Now, this is an important thing to understand. While on combination A, I'm only buying movies. Let's call this combinations, for example, B, I am buying only concerts, and that's why this becomes y over pc. So within this, I have many other combinations, like for example, combination C, or combination, for example, D, where this consumer could be buying a bit of both goods. So for example, one of the combination could be 12 of, for example, movies. 12 movies would mean 12 times 10, which means $120, and one of, for example, concert, or for example, another value that we could sort of have within this sort of could be 6 of sort of movies, which means 6 times 10 is $60. So I'm left with 90. 90 would make me buy 3 of sort of concerts. So this graph isn't sort of drawn to scale, but what I'm trying to say is just that all the values on the budget line are those values which a consumer can easily afford, and it uses up his whole income. And therefore now we're going to look at probably in a later discussion as to which combination from this A, B, C and D will he ultimately buy, because that the combination that he will ultimately buy will be the one which is helping him maximize his utility. Now, when you look at budget line, if I ask you, what's the slope of budget line, and the answer is that the slope of the budget line is simply change in y over change in x. That's the general formula for slope, which in this case the y is not income, the y is the y-axis. So I will have change in y is 15 over change in x is 5, and the value would be 3. Now it's a minus 3 because it's a downward sloping graph, but I'm right now ignoring the minus sign. What does this 3 mean? First of all, this 3 mean that this 3, the slope of the budget line, is simply what we say is the ratio of prices, which means it's P of C over P of M, or P of good on the x-axis over P of good on the y-axis, which in this case is 30 over 10 or 3. Now I'm not going into the proving why the slope will be the ratio of prices, but what I want to talk about is basically if concerts is 3 times more expensive than the movie, then basically the slope is telling us the opportunity cost of every one concert in terms of movies. For example, if I decide to go to one concert, I will lose 3 movies because price of one concert will actually make me go to 3 movies. So in other words, this is opportunity cost of every one unit of good X to good Y. That's an important thing to understand, that the slope of the budget line is the ratio of prices, and because the slope of the budget line is the ratio of prices, this means that the budget line is telling us what our opportunity cost is, which is basically when you go to one concert, for example, you lose 3 movies, and vice versa. So that's the basic sort of discussion on budget line, where we know what the slope is. Now next discussion that we want to talk about is basically how will different changes of income and prices can affect my budget line. So the first case that I want to do when it comes to budget line is a case of a rise in income. So let's write this. Case number 1 is rise in income. If there's a rise in income, basically there will be something like this happening. A rise in income will make my budget line shift to the right in a parallel manner. So for example, if you were previously buying 15 of sort of concerts and 5 of movies, and your price of concert was 30, price of movies was 10, and your income was, for example, 150. But if I double your income from 150 to y dash of 300, now 300 divided by 10 means you can buy 30 of movies, and you can buy similarly 300 divided by 30 of concerts would be 10 of your concerts, which means my budget line now going to shift to the right in a parallel manner, where on my x-axis I have quantity of concerts, and on my y-axis I have quantity of movies. So whenever there is a rise in income and the prices of both the goods have remained unchanged, we will see the budget line to shift outward in a parallel manner. Why is the budget line shifting outward? Is shifting outward in a parallel manner. So my question is, why is it shifting in a parallel manner? And the answer, the reason is simply, if the budget line shifts in a parallel manner, then this means that the slope has not changed. Let me write this: slope has not changed. And the reason why slope has not changed, because the ratio of prices have not changed. So because the ratio of prices have not changed, the budget line will still be shifting to the right in a parallel manner. The slope is still the same, which is going to be 3 or minus 3, because for every one concert we are sacrificing 3 movies. So this is the first thing we need to understand. A rise in income will cause the budget line to shift to the right in a parallel manner. One more question that we have is basically what will happen to our real income, and the answer is that real income will go up. Why? Because our purchasing power is going up. Same prices, more income, real income goes up. Remember, one way to look at real income is simply real income is Y for income is simply your money income over your price level. So if your money income is going up and price level is the same, which means that simply your purchasing power is going up because the price level is the same, your real income will go up. So that's the story for a rise in income. A rise in income, given everything else is constant, will cause our purchasing power to go up, and the PPC and the budget line will shift to the right in a parallel manner. Similar to case number 1 is the second case, which is basically what if there is a fall in the price of both goods. Let me write this. Case number 2 is equal proportionate fall in the price of both goods with no change in income. So in this case of no change in income, what will happen will be that, let's say price of concerts go down by 50% from 30 to, let's say, 15, and price of movies go down by the same percentage, like 50%, from 10 to, for example, PM dash of 5. This means that concerts and movies have both become cheaper, and they have both become cheaper in an equal proportionate manner. Like if I find the slope previously, my slope of the budget line was PC over PM, which was 30 over 10, which was 3. And even now is going to be PC dash over PM dash. The new ratio is the same, which is 15 over 5, which is also going to be 3. So the ratio has not changed. But if the income has not changed and the ratio of prices has not changed, but the prices have gone down, the budget line will also shift to the right in the same way as the case number 1. So case number 1, we were basically showing an increase in income. The income was doubling, but now here the prices are going down by 50%. So there will be a shift to the right in a parallel manner, where previously, because your income is, for example, income in this case is, for example, $150. Previously you were buying 15 and 5 of concerts and movies. Let me write this movies, and this is concerts. So but now 150 divided by 15, you are buying 10, and you are buying 30, which is the same case as case number 1. The reason why we're doing this case is because when you look at questions where you see the budget line is shifting to the right in a parallel manner, the first thing that comes to our mind is like, oh, the income must be going up. But now you need to know that there could be 2 reasons why this might happen. Number 1, prices of both goods might be going down in an equal proportional manner, or number 2, the income could be going up. So one of those 2 things can be happening. In both the cases, because the slope did not change, because the ratio of prices did not change, therefore the slope did not change. In this case also, what we need to remember is that our real income must be going up. Why? Because now my real income is, remember, real income is money income over price level, while your money income is basically is the same, my price level is going down, and that's why my real income or purchasing power is going up. Now the prices are going down, money income is the same, I can buy still more because the prices are not cheaper for the same income that I have. The third case is that of what if I tell you that there is a fall in the price of one good only. So case number 3 is what if price of concerts fall with everything else constant. If everything else is constant, which means that income is constant, and price of movies is also constant, then we will have a pivotal shift of the budget line. The budget line will shift because the price of concerts is going down. I can now buy more of concerts. So let me write this. This is concerts. This is my movies. And previously I was buying 15 and 5, and my income was $150. But what if now concerts fall in price from $30 to, let's say, $15? This means concerts are becoming cheaper, but movies have still the same price of $10. So 150 divided by 15 would be 10. This means my budget line will look like this. This also means now this is a non-parallel shift, and my new slope, remember price of movies is 10. My new slope is going to be PC over PM, which is going to be new price is PC dash. So PC dash is 15 over PM is 10, which is going to be 1.5. Because now concerts have become cheaper, my opportunity cost has changed. Now for every one concerts I only sacrifice 1.5 movies, but previously for every one concerts I was sacrificing 3 movies. So when the price of only one good go down, the budget line will pivotally shift outward, where I can buy more of one good in this case. Now what happens to our real income? Well, in this case also real income will go up because I can buy more of both goods with this, except for probably if I am at point A. At point A, if you don't really buy concerts, then fall in the price of concert will not change your real income. But otherwise, for all other combinations, our real income rises as we buy more of both goods. In our fourth case, what we will show is that despite different things happening, the diagram will be the same. So the fourth case will have the same diagram as case 3, but will have different conditions. So case number 4 is this. In case number 4, what we do is that we will say that what if our money income, like $150, that money income and price of movies both double. They both double. So now price of movie, for example, goes to income, for example, both double. For example, income goes to, like, let's say from 150 it goes to y dash of 300, but at the same time price of movies go from, for example, previously it was $10 to, for example, PM dash of $20. So my movies are now becoming expensive, where the new price is $20, but my price of concert has remained same, which is going to be PC is going to be $30. So concerts have remained the same, but movies have now doubled in prices, and income has also doubled. What we'll do is when we make a diagram for this one, we will take each at a time. So first we'll double our income. So previously we know we were buying 15 and 5 of movies and concerts. So this is movies, this is concerts, and we were buying 15 and 5. Next step will be we will double our income. If we double our income, we will now buy double the amount of these goods. So it's going to be, for example, it's going to be 30 and this one will be 10. Now, because the price of movies has gone up from 10 to 20, 300 divided by 20 is actually 15. So my now new ultimate budget line will be this orange budget line, which will be something like this, which will be drawn in a manner that it will be pivotal, and this becomes my ultimate line. But if you look at it, if you were buying 15.5, now you're buying 15.10, which is exactly how our case number 3 looked like. So what I'm trying to say here is just that sometimes this could also be given to us, and there could be a situation where the budget line might be pivotally shifting, like something like this, pivotally shifting. We need to understand this, that this can happen because your good X is becoming relatively cheaper to good Y, but it could also happen when the income doubles and good Y becomes expensive, and that's why we will ultimately have this kind of a diagram. The next case we want to talk about is what if both the goods change in price, but not in an equal proportional manner, but in an unequal proportional manner. So for example, let's write case number 5. There is a relative change in prices with income staying constant. So if income staying constant, and let's say concerts sort of concert prices go down. Let's say price of concert previously was 30, and let's say price of concert goes down to, let's say, a new price of $15, let's say, and movies go from, for example, $10 to, let's say, $20. So you can see this, that concerts are now becoming cheaper, but movies are now becoming more expensive. So given the income has not changed, the budget line will look like this. So this is your movies on the y-axis, your concert is on the x-axis. So let me write this. So concert is on the x-axis, and previously we were buying 15 and 5 with our income still at, for example, $150. With this new set of prices, now 150 divided by 15 would be 10, so I'm buying 10 of concerts, but at the same time 150 divided by 20 will be 7.5 of movies. Now 7.5 is not possible, but let's assume we can buy any quantity, even like a decimal number. So let's say 7.5 of movies. So my new budget line will look like this. This means that the consumer can now buy more of concerts and buy less of movies. And this also means that the slope has changed because the ratio of prices has changed. So previously the ratio of prices was 30 over 10 or 3, and now it's going to be 15 over 20, which is 3 by 4. So whenever there's a pivotal shift, the first thing that comes to our mind is just that the relative prices have changed. Let's do the last case, which has the same diagram as case number 5. We do it because that is also a case that sometimes get tested. The last case in this discussion is what if this happens, that the price of concerts, so case number 6 is that price of concerts stays the same and price of movies and income rises. In such a case where concerts are staying the same in price, something like this will happen. So if my income rises, let's say income doubles, the first thing I'll do is this, that my budget line will shift to the right in a parallel manner. So this is my budget line, my new budget line will shift in a parallel manner like this when the income rises. But at the same time, what if I tell you that the price of movies is also increasing? So this is my movies and this is concerts. So if price of movies is also increasing, then something like this will happen. And what if movies increases to a level where now it is much more expensive than before, and I have something like this of a diagram. So previously, let's say I was buying 15 and 5, income doubles, I buy 30 and, for example, 10. But what if price of movies go up to, let's say, $40? So in that case, now $300 is my income, because my income doubles from 150 divided by new price of movies, PM dash, to be equal to 40. That is 300 over 40, or 7.5. So what I want to show you this is that case 5 and case 6 has the same diagram, yet the way we've arrived to the diagram is different. So we need to be careful when we are drawing budget line in our exams. The slope, of course, has changed, and that's why the budget line is not parallel, but it's a non-parallel shift. In our next discussion, what we'll do is that we will use this budget line concepts with our indifference curve and find out the optimal combination a consumer must buy in order to maximize his total utility from a given income. So the given income or the budget constraint is shown through the budget line.